Good morning, gang. Happy Monday morning. All right, I am still under the weather, but I'm still making it here. I've been sleeping about 20 hours a day here over the weekend, and I'm going to be doing that again today, but get up and kind of pay attention to what's going on in the world, because the world doesn't stop when I'm sick. So apparently yesterday, I stirred up a hornet's nest a little bit. Not that that's any big surprise around here, but people were wondering where my stand is, okay? And while I totally agree, I've got people that watch this channel in Canada. I've got people that watch this channel in Mexico. I've got people that watch this channel in Panama. I've got people that watch this channel in Europe, okay? But I ask you this, as an American, what country should I put first? Or as a Canadian, or as a Mexican, or as pick a country in Europe, or as a Panamanian? You should put your own country first, right? Some people took it yesterday as I was bashing the people. No, I'm not, okay? I'm bashing the incompetent government that both Canada, Mexico, and most of the countries in Europe have. You know, getting rid of this liberalism that has caused the disasters that we have. You know, I get a kick out of some of the stories. You know, one of the ministers in Canada said, "We're already spending $1 billion on sealing the border and making sure people don't come across illegally." And I look at it and I go, okay, except the United States subsidizes Canada, in other words, writes them a blank check, for $200 billion a year. What are you doing with the other $199 billion? Okay. The story came out yesterday that, oh gee, in 2024, only 48 pounds of fentanyl were confiscated coming across the northern border. Okay. Doesn't sound like much until you realize that's 11 million fatal doses. Okay. I don't care how much. Oh, it's only 48 pounds. No, 0 is the target. Okay. The whole point that I was making yesterday, and that I think Trump is making, is that countries need to start taking care of themselves first and stop looking at us as a piggy bank. Okay. You know, look at what happened in South Africa overnight. There's big problems with South Africa starting to confiscate, or projected to confiscate, land from white landowners in South Africa. Okay. Trump said, okay, we're cutting off all foreign aid to South Africa. Good. Okay. Marco Rubio was down negotiating on the Panama Canal yesterday. And it looks like the president of Panama is going to kick out, if you will, the Chinese, because he doesn't want problems with the U.S. 87%, no, I take it back, I think it was, no, that wrong figure, 72% of traffic going through the Panama Canal is either going to or coming from the U.S. So 3/4 of the traffic there is ours, and we're not the one running the show, even though that's what the negotiations were when Jimmy Carter gave it away back in the 70s. I mean, this is what we're looking at, is every country should put their own country's interests first. Agreed. I mean, you had Justin Trudeau come out yesterday and say, well, you know, maybe whenever you can, buy made in Canada products. Good. If you live in Canada, that's what you should be doing, buying made in Canada. The reason for importing product is when you can't get it. I get it. You're not going to grow oranges in Canada. Okay. So you got to import those. Okay. So you have something like that. Sure. Well, fix the border and you can have all the oranges you want. It's not a necessity. Okay, there's plenty of things that have more vitamin C in it than oranges. Okay. Sure, you like a glass of orange juice in the morning with breakfast? I get it. But this is the problem that we have over years and years and years, decades, if you will, of mismanagement by the governments, figuring that the U.S. was just a piggy bank. I mean, our trade deficit with the EU is $300 billion. Okay? My answer to that one is we get out of NATO and we close down all the U.S. military bases in Europe. Bring them all home. Okay? And then see what happens. We're spending all this money over in Europe to protect them, and they can't spend what they're supposed to, their 2% of GDP, on their own protection. I mean, I'll go back, a lot of you guys, maybe a few of you would know this, but Reforger, which was a Cold War training exercise that happened in Germany back when I was in the Army. Return of forces to Germany is what it meant. And as the tanks and the APCs and the track vehicles went through and drove through a farmer's field or something, there was a guy in a Jeep behind him with a checkbook, writing him a check for the damage that was just done to his property. Okay, yep. We ran over your fields. Okay, here's a check for however many Deutschmarks at the time. And that was what was happening. It was just a bottomless pit. Okay. Europe is taking advantage of us. Great Britain is the worst offender of them all. Germany's right up there. Canada's taking advantage of us. Mexico's taking advantage of us. We all knew this was coming. This is what we voted for. We wanted somebody to take a sledgehammer to the system and bust it up. Okay, get rid of the fentanyl problem, get rid of the illegal problem, get rid of the human trafficking problem. This is what this is all about. As I said yesterday, it's going to get worse before it gets better. You know, take advantage of what you can right now. If there's stuff that you want to buy that is made in China, made in Canada, made in Mexico, maybe go out and get it today. Because tomorrow when those tariffs hit, I guarantee you the stores are going to raise the prices on everything 25%. Okay. We'll see how they want to stay competitive, but probably you're going to see less sales on electronics especially. I'll pick something, your iPhone, your solar generators, solar panels, a computer, televisions, anything that's got anything technology based that's made in China is going to go up in price. Fortunately, most of us have been preparing for this for a long time, and we pretty much have most of what we need. But please don't think that I'm dogging on Canadians or dogging on Mexicans or dogging on Europeans or anything. That wasn't the intent. It was ragging on the governments that have done a disservice to you guys and have done a disservice to us here in the States. And it's important that we all put our own countries first. Right? Pinball out.